Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet the great Dunham Biles. He is one of the top litigators in North Texas. His journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home. We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network. We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, I am fascinated by people who are playing at the top of their game, and my next guest is Dunham Biles. He's one of the top litigators in North Texas and a good friend. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, I was impressed because when we were talking off camera, I asked you when you knew you wanted to be a lawyer. Tell that story.
Well, that's a story nobody ever believes, but it's the honest truth. So in 2003, when I was in 3rd grade, I was learning about the planets and so forth, and I, along with 2 friends, sent a letter to President Reagan asking him when we'd be sending a man to Mars, and unbelievably, as shocked as I was, I got a letter back, signed by President Reagan on NASA letterhead, and they said 2030, so we'll see. It looks like we're on track. And at that point, I decided that that was unbelievably cool, and I realized that most politicians are lawyers first, and then I began down my path.
Outstanding. Now, I know television and film kind of glamorizes the profession where like every case is solved and tried in an hour. When you got out into the real world, were you disappointed at all about how law is actually practiced?
No, fortunately, I wasn't. Every now and then I do get a chance to go to SMU and talk to students, and I do tell them about that, but I had an understanding, fortunately. But as I tell my kids when I was young, I was working all the time, what I really am is a professional reader and a professional writer, and nobody would want to see that on TV. And so all these shows have nothing to do with what our life as lawyers really are like.
Yeah, but the reading and the writing is critical. I mean, that's how you win cases.
That's exactly right. Legal writing is the most important thing that I do. That's how cases are won and lost, is really in the writing, not the standing up for 5 minutes and making an argument. Most of it, the hard work is done long before you land up in the court.
Sure. And many people are not aware that there are different kinds of attorneys. There are kind of transactional attorneys who may never see a courtroom, and then you have litigators, and then you have people who practice appeals. So how do you fall on that spectrum?
Yes, I'm definitely not on the transactional side. I'm a litigator, I'm a trial lawyer, and I'm an appellate lawyer. So the trial lawyers are the ones that actually end up in the courtroom trying cases to juries, judges. Done that many times in the course of my career, which is always a pleasure, but I also have the pleasure of doing appeals. So that means after a case is over at the trial court level, somebody is unhappy with the result and they can appeal. And that's all legal writing. That's briefing and then 20 minutes in front of the court.
Absolutely. We've got Dunham's bio. We're going to put it up on the screen, and I promise you, this thing goes on for 3 pages. You've won too many awards, too many accolades for us, because this is only a 15-minute show. But it has to feel good to be so respected in your industry.
It is an honor. I mean, I've worked for 23 years in my industry, and it's nice to be thought of highly by others, and it takes a lot of work and mostly integrity. Integrity is what matters in what I do, in my opinion, and what makes clients happy, and you get to know your fellow lawyers too that way.
Absolutely. Tell us about one of your favorite cases.
Well, I've had a lot of great cases in my career, and a lot of representing Fortune 100 companies, huge deals. But I think the ones that matter most to me are the ones where I was able to help individuals. And so what comes to mind, obviously, is for many years we had cases against the city of Farmers Branch when they had ordinances as it related to illegal immigrants being able to rent houses, buy houses. We fought that twice at the federal court here, at the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, both in front of a panel and en banc, meaning the entire court. I argued it both times. We prevailed both times. And then we also did a Voting Rights Act case to create a Hispanic district in the City of Farmers Branch. And as a result, the first ever Hispanic won at the City of Farmers Branch City Council. I happen to be married to a Hispanic woman, so it made a difference to her, her family, and lots of other people that are close to me. And that's the sort of thing that you don't get to do every day in corporate litigation.
And I remember those cases well, because I was a TV reporter at Fox 4 when that was going down, and I covered a lot of the City Hall hearings. I want to talk more about the real world of law, and we've got some video from our file library that we're going to put up right now. One of the reasons why you struck out on your own is because you really want to do things right for your clients. Can you talk a little bit about customer service and what that means?
Yes, customer service is very important to me because at the end of the day, our clients come to us with their biggest problems, and they're looking for somebody to not just give them rote answers. They want to feel like you're taking care of them. They want to feel like they've given their problem and you're going to solve it, and that's my job. My job is to help solve those problems. And so in order to really do that, I think you have to internalize their problems and make them your own, so you feel what they're going through, you understand what they're going through, they know that you understand, and you got to put your client first. At the end of the day, as lawyers, we owe fiduciary duties to our clients. That duty is to put them first. So there's many times in my life where I missed all sorts of things, but it's because my clients had entrusted to me their biggest problems. They're counting on me, I'm the professional, to find a solution. And so that's what comes first at my firm. My clients come first, their needs come first, and we find a way to get it done.
I love it. And your integrity speaks volumes, because there are attorneys out there that we all know who are just trying to rack up the bill and maybe take the client into a fight that the client doesn't necessarily want to be in, just to pad their own pocket. And that's not you.
No, that's not me. As I just told somebody this the other day, actually, is that I would prefer the clients call me sooner than later, because if we get involved before there's a fight, before there's a litigation to me is a tool. Lawsuit is a tool. There are other ways to solve problems short of that. And hopefully, if we get involved early enough, we can solve the problem using different tools besides litigation. But if we get to litigation, then I'm certainly happy to do it. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. But really, at the end of the day, I'm an advocate and I'm a problem solver. And so if you give me more time, I can come up with different solutions that perhaps don't lead down the path of litigation.
I love it. We're almost out of time. So final thoughts. What would you like to leave people with?
That my firm, I'm lucky to have my own firm with a good friend, and that at the end of the day, we're there when our clients need us. And I've always tell people, like, I think in life, when tragedy strikes us is when we learn the most about who is really there for us in our time of need. And that, at the end of the day, is who I am for my clients. In their greatest time of need, I'm the guy that will step up and take care of them.
Outstanding. Thank you for sharing your heart with us. We're going to end with your LinkedIn page, the great Dunham Biles. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.